Hey there, you cool cats and kittens. Welcome back to Crafters TV. It's the start of a brand new week. It is Monday. Do you know how I know it's Monday? Because Jan just told me. I thought it was Tuesday. We've got a really fun day coming up. This is, of course, Wake Up Call, 11 a.m. here in the UK. We have got loads to look forward to, though. We've got a big launch for you this afternoon. You're going to see some of that in this Wake Up Call. That'll be coming up at 2 p.m. here in the UK, 9 a.m. East Coast, 6 a.m. West Coast, and then Monday Makers rounds out your Monday. That's at 6 p.m. in the UK, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 a.m. over on the West Coast. But we have not worked together for goodness knows, it must be a couple of months, but she's back. Jan Brown is here with us.
It does seem like weeks, Joe. When I was driving up this morning, I was trying to remember when was the last time that we'd worked together, and I couldn't remember.
No, me neither.
It has been several weeks, I must admit. But mine, very sporadic now. It's we've only been part-time. I'm only here sort of every now and then. I know the customers have been asking me, you know, where I've been and things like that. But I'm good. I'm all good. I'm still battling the old cough, but I've just got used to it now. Six weeks down the line, it's become part of me. So yeah, I do apologise if I end up coughing again. Pardon?
Have you named it? Maybe we should give it a name, the cough.
Colin the cough.
Colin the cough, yeah. Kathy the cough, maybe.
Honestly, yeah, but it is getting better, but it's taken its own sweet time. But I am good, I'm all good. So I've done the testing, there's nothing contagious. I'm here to work. And yeah, we've got a really good fun day.
We have got a great launch coming up. We've got fancy sentiment.
Shall we have a look?
I love a bit of fancy.
Shall we have a look? I love a good sentiment, in just as it is, to be honest. But these are really, really nice. So these are what we've got coming up at 2 o'clock there. So the idea here is that you have got a die which cuts part of the sentiment with the mat that goes with it, and then also you've got the stamp that's like the complementary part of the sentiment. So the die's happy, the stamp's birthday, and they are, we were just talking about this earlier, Joe, weren't we? We said that, you know, they're small enough to be a sentiment on a card, but they're also a decent enough size to be the focal point on a card as well. So just to show you the sets that we've got here, give you a few ideas before we get started this morning. Where that way, isn't it? Yeah,
beautiful.
So just for you, so you can see, and that font on the stamp is beautiful. I love those little curly entries and exits from the word there. Again, we've got best wishes, so you can see that combination of stamp and die for the sentiment there. We've got special friend. Okay.
Love that.
And then we've got thanks very much.
I think you can see there as well also the amount of other products that you're able to bring them in with.
Absolutely.
I was instantly thinking over the top of the broderie and glazed look amazing. Also, you know, the detailed creator cards, they were then small enough that you could have them on the front of a creator
just
card
on the
as well.
on the bottom corner, yeah. As I say, this one, you know, we've used an embossing folder in the background there, and then literally just use that as a little focal point in the middle. But you know, you can make larger cards, smaller cards. So at 2 o'clock, I'm going to talk you all the way through these. We have got a quick demo with them in Wake Up Call just as a taster. But yeah, can't wait to get going with those.
Yeah, they're going to be amazing. Lots of you tuning in and saying hello. If you want to get in touch, you can do so all the normal ways. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are over on YouTube. Alison saying good morning. Hi, Alison. Diane's got a very fabulous name. Diane Nishijima.
Oh,
Diane,
very exotic.
Diane Agosto Nishijima. What a great name.
I do admire your pronunciation, Joe, because I sometimes look at them and think I'm not even going to try.
For an Essex boy, I've done all right.
You have, yeah. He's very good. And you're very brave. I wouldn't want to offend anybody by mispronouncing it. You're very good. I
did workshop it a few times in my head first. And she's saying aloha from Hawaii.
Oh, fantastic.
Amazing. I think in my head that's how they dance. No, I don't know if that is how they dance. If I didn't offend you with a name, I've probably now offended you with the dancing. I'm sorry. Rhiannon's saying hi from Ballarat, Australia. Stephen's in Andover. Jeffrey, all have had 1 to 2 inches of rain. It was much needed, apparently, in New Hampshire. Rhiannon's loving the shirt. Thank you. You were saying it looked like an English background, weren't you?
I do, yes. I could even name some of the colours from my
probably pale
range.
pig.
From our range, yeah. Ooh, pink tulip.
Pink tulip, yeah.
Pink tulip.
And maybe
little bit of, it's a cross between frosty jade and green topaz, I think.
I've been called worse, Jan.
In distress, I could definitely name them.
Okay, what am I in distress?
Cracked
I'm
pistachio.
usually in distress, to be fair.
Cracked pistachio.
Cracked pistachio.
And a bit of spun sugar. Sums you up perfectly, Joe, doesn't it?
Nuts but sweet.
I love it.
Right, you're going to be trouble today. I said this to Debbie yesterday. Sarah's saying hi from Melbourne as well. Linda she's watching only, but she's leaving for work. Don't go, Linda. And Pam says, it's Jan. I'm so excited for a day of jam. Missed you. And also Sandy is saying good morning from Florida's Treasure Coast.
Oh,
Treasure Coast, that sounds great.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Sometimes I hear all these lovely places that people are watching from, and I just sometimes wish that I could just transport myself
We need to go
for
on a tour.
a little while. Yeah.
Get a big Winnebago, just go on a big tour
Shall
for all
we?
the lovely places. Can you imagine? It'd be great,
Can
wouldn't
you
it?
just imagine, just setting up where we stop and doing a bit of crafting with the members of the public?
Just perfect.
Maybe we should pitch that, Joe.
I don't think we've got much chance, but we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go.
You don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly. There's lots of great promotions going on over the website as well. It's National Sewing Machine Day today.
Ah, fantastic.
Ooh, yeah. So you're going to save up to 65% on selected bundles, which is brilliant, but we're not stopping there. Oh, no. You also have got 3 for 2 on all cut by the metre fabric as well. So
Brilliant.
definitely head over to
Time
that
to stock
section.
up.
Yeah, get over to the soft craft section of the website and stock up on some of those bargains. Now, the news gets even better. Oh, yes, it does, because we are celebrating Tiffany's 2nd birthday. Well, totally Tiffany is a brand's 2nd birthday. There's a big show coming up on Saturday, so make sure you come and join the gang for that. But you've actually got to spend and save, whereby the more you spend, the more you save, which is my kind of promotion, to be honest. You've got, if you're spending £30 or dollars, you'll save 5. If you are spending 50, you'll save 10%. And if you're spending 80, you'll save 20%, which is absolutely glorious. So there's loads of great deals over there for you to avail of. You've got discount, and then you've got, of course, that amazing spend and save too. So go and have a little look at that. We, though, back to today, we have got a brand new launch for you. The first chance you've had to get your hands on these, which is really, really exciting. And also, we've got a CTV web exclusive as well on these, which is one I'm going to start with right now, which is this one. Just here, best wishes. You will not be able to get this anywhere else from any of our third-party retailers. So if you want to get this one, grab it from us now. You can get it on its own. So if you have got these elsewhere, but you didn't get this one, you can grab it on its own for $6.99 or $8.95. You're getting it, of course, as part of this exclusive bundle from us here at Crafters TV, though. So you're getting the die, which gives you the outline, and then you are also getting the stamped image for the front and sort of a second element of the sentiment as well. So you've got best wishes, thanks very much. This one here is just to say, and then you've got happy birthday, special friend, and also enjoy your special day. Really usable sentiments. I think they cover so much in just 5 different dies and stamps there. If you want to get your hands on these, $27.96 or $35.80. That's a 20% saving. So we're giving you one for free, which I always think is marvellous considering it's a brand new launch. If you are a platinum member, $22.37 or $28.64 is your price on these. Right then, I think we should, without further ado, head on over to Jan and see what she's going to take us through with these.
We are. We're going to start with those sentiments, Joe, because that's the main feature of our day today with that launch at 2 o'clock here in the UK. I thought we'd get started with these. And of course, I've picked the best wishes one. It is in the bundle, but like Joe said, it is only available when you order it off the website there, so not available anywhere else. So we're going to use this one. So just to talk you through the concept of this, we've called it a stamp and die. So you actually get 2 elements in your packet here, and you get the outline die, which is like a flat mat, for want of a better word, and then you get the stamp and its counterpart. So you can see here, bearing in mind that this is actually going to be face down when we cut it out, you can see that this is exactly the right size, if I pop it on the back of here, to actually then lay that stamp in and stamp the first part of your greeting. And then the little wishes has been done in sort of block letters as opposed to that beautiful scrolly font there as a complimentary. So they've all got, so you've got things like happy and birthday, you've got just and for you. This one is best and wishes. So again, it's entirely up to you how you use them, whether you want to use these as a focal point on your projects, whether you want to just add them to a larger project as a sentiment in the corner or at the bottom, whether you want to add them on a face... get my teeth in, Jan, whether you want to add them on a
George was getting...
page.
I think George was distracting you, Jan. He's getting very excited about my new water bottle. That's what it was. Because my other one... It had gone very green on the inside, Jan, and I was still drinking out of it. and everyone was losing their minds about it. Pre-marché, £3.50, and it holds a litre. We're not selling these, I know, but anyway, sorry about that, Jan.
There we go. That's quite all right. I nearly said something else instead of scrapbook then, and I thought, no, I'm on the wrong bit altogether there. So
I hope it was something completely different. You weren't just
it was
dropping
more
letters.
social media related than scrapbook. It was nearly a Facebook page, which was not what I was aiming for at all. That's a great start, isn't it? I was like, oops, no. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the mat. Okay, and I prefer, and this is something that I would advise you to try. I've tried this both ways. I've tried stamping and then cutting out. I've also tried cutting out and then stamping. I actually prefer to cut the mat first and then anchor it down and stamp into it, purely because this is a solid die. You can't actually see very well where, you know, whether you've covered the word equally, for want of a better way. So let me just talk you through what I'm going to do. So again, these fit beautifully. I've just pulled the little mini out because all of those sentiments will fit through your mini, which I think is in itself, again, is something worthwhile, because you don't need to have a big electronic machine out. You don't need to be adding extra use to your plates on your larger machines. Pop them through the mini and you can see that that's cut it perfectly. So this could be any colour. I'm actually going to stamp onto here with a coloured ink onto the white background, but it could be black cardstock, and then you might stamp with a watermark ink and emboss onto it. Absolutely lots of different ways, but you can see now, again, if I put that onto, let me see if it shows, yeah, it shows up on there, doesn't it? But you can see now when we take the stamp, how that fits perfectly over the top of there. So I've just realised I haven't grabbed my stamp pad, Joe. I'm just going to reach across to my ink.
No worries at all. You grab that. Any questions you've got about this launch, get them into, well, just, you know, any general life dilemmas, if you like. Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. And remember, we'll have a full 2-hour launch day dedicated to this brand new launch. That'll be at 2 p.m. here in the UK, 9 a.m. on the East Coast, 6 a.m. For you early birds over on the West Coast too. And myself and Jan are back with Monday Makers. It's like buses shows, Jan. We waited. I think it's been a couple of months, you know, since we've worked together. I just can't remember the last time we worked together.
I know, I was trying to think back, and it's not just you, it happens with Ben as well. So, because I think one of the last shows that I was up here, Corinne was presenting. So yeah, there's lots of different sort of things going on now, and lots of different mixes. So yeah, it is a while.
It's been a long time.
It is a while. I've missed you, Joe.
I've missed you too, Jan. I've missed the laugh. There we go. See?
Right, so all I'm going to do with my dotty tape pen now is just pop a little tiny bit on the back of here, just to anchor, because obviously we've got the magnets on the stamping platform, but I don't want to cover it with the magnets because the stamp is going to go all the way across, so there's not really anywhere to put the magnet. Now, if you want to try the stamping element first and then the cutting out, as I say, have a go both ways, but I found this was the better way to do it, because what I can do now is I can see straight through here, through the clear stamp. Now, your stamps won't come pink. They do come clear, all right? It's just that I've used some of our quick dry ink, and the pinks and the purples are known for staining the stamps. It doesn't hurt them, doesn't make them any less usable. It's just, and I quite like the pretty pink stamps, to be honest. So what I can do now is I can see straight through here, and I can line that stamp up exactly where I want that to sit over the top of that element that we've just die cut. So again, line it up, pick it up with here, and then I'm just going to use some quick dry damson wine, which is going to match my project, and stamp that then straight into that little cutout. Now, I personally found this was my easiest way to do it. As I say, have a play and see which you prefer. And then, as always, I tend to do a couple of layers with the inks just to make sure that I haven't missed any, and that's the beauty of being able to use that platform. Is this stamping
platform still your favourite tool?
It sure is. It's still #1 on my list, Joe, and I use it all the time. Even though this is an 8x8 platform and we're working with a little sentiment that measures about 4 inches, I would still. And you can see there how that's stamped beautifully. The little dots are not too bad. But you can see how we've got that sort of sentiment inside the die cut there. So this opens up lots of opportunities, because not only could you do this and stamp straight onto it, I was thinking you could use the die to create an aperture in your card and then stamp through the aperture into that space. So again, lots of different ways of doing it. You could layer them up. All right, so what I've done with this is I've popped a card together just to pop it on for you to show you a finished one. And the wishes part, I'm going to stamp straight onto my piece of card that I've got here. So I basically want to just line up where everything's going to go.
Do you know what they remind me of a little bit? They're sort of a follow-on from. Remember those sentiments that we used to do that were like crafty heartbeat ones?
Yes.
You know the ones I mean?
Yes.
These are a little bit similar to those.
Trying to think what the name...
different, but I bet all those techniques you did with those, you could do is... I was thinking about maybe the matte layer being like stacked, like a stacked drop shadow in different colours. I bet that would look
like
lovely
the
with
rainbow
these.
colours would look good, and then it's stamped on the bottom one, wouldn't it? Yeah. I'm trying to think what they were called. I know exactly which ones you mean. They had a lead in, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then the lovely font, and then the lead out
Yeah.
again. Yeah. Right, so what I'm going to do then is I've actually created a layer to put on here, just again using up those scraps. And all I've done with that is take a piece of acetate. You can just see my acetate. It's not the best thing to show you on TV. Little square of acetate, and then I've stuck strips of pattern paper over it.
Nice.
But I've just left a little tiny gap. I don't know whether we can pick that up on there. There's a little tiny gap between the stripes, which makes it look as if it's floating. And you just, if I hold it over the white there, there's just little gaps between them, yeah? So it almost looks when it's on there that it's actually floating in place. Then we're going to use our sentiment over the top of it. And then now I can position where I want to put that wishes. So again, just pop this down to one side here. So we're going to have that one about equal distance there. That one sort of in the middle. And then the wishes coming in just to tuck inside that sentiment. So once I know where that needs to be, I can actually move those out of the way, take that one away, pop that in my stamping platform, and then use that ink just gently on that one and stamp this straight onto the background piece. And this is just a piece of our all-purpose cardstock that we're going to use for the front of the design. And all I've done is I've inked around the edge of it. Because I've gone with a purple theme, I've used a little bit of pale fig just around the edge of it, just to bring all that together. And then my card blank is a standard 7x5 card size. So we're literally going to pop that one flat. Oops, take the edge off. That one's going to go straight onto the card blank. If you wanted to add it up on some foam tape or some foam pads, absolutely. But I've got the next layer on foam pads, so I didn't want to add too much height to it. So again, that's just going to create, and that outline with the ink has just created the illusion that there's a border around there. And then on my little piece that I've got here, I've just put plenty of foam pads on the back of here because I want to raise this one, but I've just put the foam pads behind where the paper is so that it doesn't show through those gaps. Just take those off. And then this is going to be my sort of, rather than doing a full background, this one's going to go on here, and I'm just sort of eyeballing an equal distance at the side and the top and bottom for that one to that left hand side about there.
I think it's the first day I've ever had with you, Jan, probably this year, where we haven't had a craft along.
Possibly.
We always have a craft along
Possibly.
together.
I've got one coming up next month.
Craft along queen.
I've not done one for a while actually. And then the one that I stamped, I'm going to swap it out for this one because what I like to do with these is stack them up. So this was just one layer, which is fine, but I find this as a bit vulnerable then because you've just got that one layer of cardstock. Now it is the Smooth all-purpose card, which is a decent weight, but I didn't want this to get sort of bent or damaged. So what I've done is I've done exactly the same, but I've cut 2 extra pieces of the matte layer. So this one that we started with, I've cut this 3 times, stuck them together, and then stamped on top of it. So it gives it a little bit more substance here and it's not going to get damaged as much. So that one's going to go on, let me just have a look. I want about halfway with the tape pen on there. So plenty of glue on that one. And then we're just going to position this so that it's part way over here and this little swirl here sort of tucks around the wishes part there. And then I've got a tiny little die cut butterfly just to finish it off. This is just a die, one that sits on my desk permanently, because who doesn't love a good butterfly?
Oh, you can't have too many schmetterlings in your stash.
And that's just going to pop on the top there. Okay, so you can see, you know, nice and simple, not too much involved there to get us started with it. If I bring the one in I did at home, I just added some gems there. So you can see, just by adding 1 or 2 lilac gems in there as well, it's jazzed it up a little bit.
Really cute.
But yeah, really, really simple to get us going and show those sentiments off to their best sort of example.
Yeah, I think they're really cool. I think they're going to work. Whether you want to go more is more or less is less, or you're bringing in other elements from your stash already. I've got a couple of bits on the show actually that will go brilliantly with these, and I'll show you them in just a second. Let me run you back through them what you're getting. Remember, the Best Wishes is exclusive to us here at Crafters Companion, Crafters TV, so you only get this from our website. You can get that on its own individually as well if you want to. So you've got Best Wishes. You also have Thanks Very Much. That one is Just to Say. But then you've got Happy Birthday, Special Friend, and also Enjoy Your Special Day. These are fantastic, because I think they're going to complement so many of the ranges that you have so well. Or, as Jan was saying, you could use them on their own. You know I love them, Jan, but brilliant for a tag as well. Yes. Absolutely perfect size to go on a tag. Maybe, though, you want to mount them up on some of your fancy dies, then absolutely you can do that. And I'm going to take you through some of those now. So we've got lots on the show. This is the nesting frame die collection, those really fancy nesting dies. Is that the price on these? Seriously?
Crazy, isn't it?
Crazy. You crazy girl.
Crazy.
You crazy girl. If no one's got TikTok, no one will know what I'm on about. Crazy. You crazy girl. So this one here is, I can't, no, honestly, 2182 as a platinum member or 2511.
The amount of detail in those dies, those pieces of metal, I mean, the amount of metal for starters, but the detail in them to cut those frames, that is phenomenal.
You crazy girl. Let me show you this one. So you've got the Deco Swirl frame. Then you've also got the filigree. Like, I'm genuinely thinking to myself, are these definitely the ones that are that price?
They are.
I can't quite get my head around it. They mix and match beautifully as well. You've got the modern swirl. This one here is a decorative rose. You've then got the delicate lace and also the abstract frames. Now, if you don't own them, you need to get them at this price, because nesting dies, Jan, like, you've got to have them in your stash. You can't
They're
really
a
do
little
without
bit
them,
like
can you?
embossing folders, aren't they? There's something that are there all the time just to grab. And later on in launch day, I've used some of these in conjunction with the sentiments to just show you how you can incorporate them into your, you know, your card styles or, you know, bags, gift bags, boxes, whatever it is you're making. So yeah, if you can tune in later at 2 o'clock, we're going to do a little bit of mix and match with those in that launch day show. But yeah, ideal, even if you just wanted to cut one of those, stamp a sentiment in the middle,
Brilliant.
Pop it in an envelope, and, you know, your job's done there, isn't it? The actual frame dies are detailed enough to carry a card without actually putting much else with it other than a sentiment.
Yeah, absolutely. I've downloaded TikTok, and I feel like I'm relevant again now. Honestly, I feel like a Gen Z all of a sudden, Jan. It's like I'm one of the cool kids again. Oh. I know what all the kids are saying. All these words, I know what they are now because I've got TikTok.
There's no stopping you now, is there?
There's no stopping me at all. Also, something else that would work beautifully with these stamps, of course, is the quick dries, because they are really beautiful to stamp with. They're super juicy, these ink pads. They've got really lovely coverage. You've got the fuchsia, the baby blue even. This one here is your Chinese red. And then we also have jet black, the parakeet, seal brown, pine tree, smoked emerald, misty morning, and you'll get the orange in there as well. So some of our most popular colours, which is excellent. $46.99 or $70.99 if you're in the States, saving you $12.91. You get about 2.5 for free there. $37.59 or $56.79 if you are a platinum member. Right, I don't know what that noise was then. Did you hear that? I wouldn't be able to do that if I tried again. We have got here some silhouette stamps and stencils. You guys absolutely love these. They are gorgeous. So much you can do with them. If you love getting inky, then you're going to absolutely love using these. But the great thing about them is that they are a stamp set, and then 4 separate stencils in this case you can build up. You do also get sentiments and embellishments in there as well. So there's a lot in these ones. This one here is your beautiful moments with a little girl there on the swing. You can make that, I mean, take the girl out. And you could actually make that look quite spooky. I think I made like quite a good Halloween card, that one, Jan, if you wanted to use it in that way.
Silhouettes as well, they lend themselves to that, don't they?
They do. This next one here, this is your Strength and Love. And that's like a sort of savannah scene, isn't it? Which is lovely. It is...
My little grandson, that's one of his favourite films. We watch it and watch it and watch it to the point that we can nearly recite it now.
I don't know it. They're not the words, by the way.
No,
I
we
just
just
made
make
that
it up as we go
up.
along.
If I've offended anyone in any languages, I am sorry. So that one is your Strength and Love. You've then got Follow Your Dreams, which is that one there. Well, do you know what? You could create the other scene from The Lion King using this, couldn't you?
You could.
It's
yes.
very much
on Pride Rock. Yeah,
absolutely. So you've got that one in there with the unicorn, which is gorgeous. Then you have also got this little chap in here as well. Love the aperture on that one, chap. Love the fact that you've got the reverse stencil there as well. Very clever, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got like the mask and the stencil part with it, yeah.
Really, really cool. You've then got, I mean, you can't have too many fairies, can you, in your collection? So you've got a really wonderful one. I'm guessing that this one crying out to be used with your sparklinks. I think they're going to look so glorious with that. And then you've got these pair of lovebirds just here as well. This reminds me of like a holiday in Sorrento, this I always say. I'm not quite sure why, but sort of on holiday in Italy, hand in hand, eating an ice cream.
Yeah.
When you were too full for dessert, but you still got room for an ice cream, it's quite late in the evening, the sun going down. That's what I'm seeing there with that one. You get all of those, 50, 66 or 58, 30. That's a saving of £27 or $31. And then you're able to get your Club Inspired discount, of course, on top of that too, which is brilliant. Lots of you still saying hello and tuning in. Liz says, good morning, Joe, Jan, crafty friends from a cloudy Nottinghamshire. BJ says, good morning from Oysterville, Washington. What a wonderful... Sounds like a name from like a film from the Roaring Twenties, doesn't it?
Oysterville,
Love
I've not
that.
heard that one before.
Oh, and the lovely Astrid's tuning in as well. She's so nice to have Jan and Jane. So lovely to have you in with us, Astrid, as well. I also want to remind you, as we said, about that it is National Sewing Machine Day today. And there's loads going on over on the website for you. So you've got 3 for 2 in that flash craft. There's a soft craft flash sale. That's not easy to say, Jan. There is also up to 65% off of selected bundles, which is, I nearly said something completely different. And there's also
not the best time to just take a drink then, was it?
Not the best time, no. Jan's got coffee coming out of her nose there. 3 for 2 on all meters by the fabrics by the meter, not meters by the fabric. 2, so go and stock up on all of those things. Take advantage of that flash sale that's happening over there. And also remember too that it is Totally Tiffany's second anniversary of being here with us at Crafters Companion at the weekend. You've got a spend more, save more. So spend 30, you'll save 5. Spend 50, you'll save 10. Spend 80, you'll save 20%. So make sure you go and head on over there for that. We're going to take a real quick break, give you an opportunity to get your baskets checked out. Lots of you have jumped to the web and got that new launch in your basket. Whilst you do that, why don't we tell you all the marvellous details of our loyalty programme here at Crafters TV called Club Inspire. Take a look.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together, and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes, and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Oh, hi there. Wasn't expecting you. Welcome back. Right, let me take you through. I was expecting you, really. That's just being silly. Let me take you through the hanging ornaments. Now, these are glorious. They make 2 different styles for you, which is amazing. I'd love to see pictures in the heart.
Oh, that would look nice.
It would look nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, a little hanging picture. There's loads you can do with these. You can make them festive themed. You can tie them in with any of your different collections that you might have. Let me take you through what you are getting. You are getting a great deal. That is for sure, because you're saving £20 or $26 here on these. You've got your opulent heart, which is this one just here. And you will also get the decadent butterflies and then the extra embellishing elements that you need to pop in there. Oh, a cocktail, that's very apt for this time of year. Everyone seems to be going on their holidays at the moment, don't they? I know you've just come back.
I think people are just glad to be able to get away again, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, then here with your cupcakes and your present in there as well. $29.97 or $39.84. Yeah, it's quite easy to go away now at the moment, Jan. There's not a lot of, there's like hardly any testing now, which is quite good.
Yeah,
I know that
it's
today,
sort of relaxed a lot, hasn't it?
yeah, so the US announced, was it the day before yesterday, that with immediate effect we could travel there without the need to test before we went now.
Right.
So as long as you've got all the other bits and bobs.
It's quite scary, isn't it, that this time 2 years ago we were literally sort of in lockdown, weren't we? And
we
then
just
now,
coming, March, we're just sort of coming out, weren't
at the
we,
end
time
of, so towards the end of June, wasn't it? Yeah. And I just think, you know, what we can do in the space of 2 years.
Do you not think, I feel like it almost is, obviously, not for everyone, but for me personally, it kind of feels like it didn't happen now. Feels like it was all a bit sort of pretend. Like, well, it did, because it also went on for quite a long time, didn't it? We had a good few months, and we had 3 lots of that, good few months of proper lockdown.
We did.
Whereas in my head, I've chosen to remember it. It could have been a couple of weeks, is how it feels. Like, you just sort of remember, we only remember the bits you wanted to, the sort of positive bits that came out of it.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, it's almost sort of like, not forgotten about now, but people, I think, are managing it much, much better.
Absolutely.
Which is a good thing, yeah.
And it's lovely to be able to see friends, and so nice to be able to plan things and have certainty that they're going to happen. So long may it continue. Christine McCrone is saying good morning from a grey Derby. Where has the sun gone? You tell me. It's not up here, that's for sure, Christine. And Sarah Brown says, I've now got myself a cup of tea and set myself up in bed. Nice and relaxing. Oh, lovely. Right then, I believe we're going to have a little look at these ornaments, Jan.
We are. We're going to make the heart one. So this is what, let me bring this over onto the front here. This is what we're actually going to make. And they are really, really pretty. So this is how the concept was actually designed, to make a 3D element. But I just want to show you that they can just as easily be used on a card front. So just by using one piece of this, rather than setting it up as 3D and adding the elements onto, you know, something that's much more flat, there's nothing to stop you doing both of those. Now, we're going to actually go through the concept as it was designed this morning. And, you know, you think, oh my goodness, you know, how do I start? But it is really, really simple. As always with crafters products, you know, they've done all the thinking, they've done all the measuring. All you've got to do is cut it out. So just to explain, if you buy in the bundle, you will get everything that you need for this. But if you're actually sort of just choosing elements of it, there are 2 sets of the dies that give you the what we call the concept die. So this is the opulent heart, which has got the means to make that lovely heart-shaped design that we saw here. And then Joe showed you the decadent butterfly, which has got the same kind of concept but in a circle. So these 2 are sort of the concept dies. So you would need one or the other or both both of these to actually make the ornaments. And then we added 2 sort of embellishment packs with them. So it shows on the front that the embellishments will work with both of those original concept dies, so the circle or the heart, but you've got a selection in here of all different elements. So we've got flowers, we've got the cocktail glass, the little umbrella in there, lots of foliage. This one's got the birthday cupcake in it and the present, and then lots of other little embellishments in there that you can use to create either decoration or this lovely little hanging element. You can see in there that we've got the present, which is on the back of here. So we're sort of mixing and matching a little bit there. So let me talk you through what we've done. So my base card here for this one was just the white all-purpose card. And I'm so glad that we've actually changed the name on it, because it really is all-purpose. You can use it for die cutting, you can use it for stamping, inking, card, you know, making your card blanks out of it, you name it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that first element off here, just pop those couple of little bits that are left in the die, and then we're going to cut this out of a piece of the cardstock. So pop it through your Gemini or your chosen machine. It is a flat thin metal die, so it will go through. It doesn't have to be a Gemini. And approximately 6 inches by 5.5 inches, so it will fit on your junior plates as well. Now I happen to have got my my larger Gemini. Let me just grab my plates over here. Okay, and we're just going to put that as a normal die cut onto my glass plate, add the relevant shims in there and the top plate.
How big did you say that heart was?
It says on the front of the packet there 6 inches by 5.5. So
oh well, the average human heart is 5 inches by 3.5 inches. There you go.
Very interesting fact.
Thought you'd like to know that.
Right.
Yeah. Because I thought, I wonder if that's bigger or smaller than my heart. And it turns out it's slightly larger.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't got one, obviously, but if I had one, in the void where it should be is about that big.
Behave. So just passing it through your chosen die cut machine is going to cut out one of those pieces for you. All right, nice and straightforward so far. So let's just pop those off to one side for a minute. And then we'll take that out.
Lots of people saying hi still, Jan. Christine Mahoney is saying good morning, Joe and the whole crew. Miriam says good morning, y'all, from South Carolina. I absolutely love that accent. Hot and humid day already, I bet. I imagine it's very sunny. She put a little sunflower emoji on her message as well. We must be moving into sunflower season, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, because we have got the launch tomorrow.
Bee-Youtiful Collection.
It will be myself and Corinne here with you all day with that new sunflower.
So I'm just going to pop out the pieces there at the back. Just be careful with those little sort of curly elements that they don't snag. Okay. Just take those out. And then, as I say, we've got one piece of that element that we need to take to make that ornament. So this is actually going to be one of the sides, and you can see there, if we just pop that out nice and carefully with all those little curly pieces on, that we've got that one piece at the ready there. Okay, now in order to make the design that we've got here, you can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides or 6 elements to it. So you're going to need to repeat this 6 times. Okay, so I'm just having a look on the back of here. Oh, there is. So there's a little instruction leaflet in here. So for the actual concept, it talks you through how many things you've got to cut and in order to pop them together. So once we've done that, then you can decide how you're going to decorate it. So this one's actually been done with our opaque ink pads. It may be that you want to cut some from pattern paper. It may be that you want to cut it from a coloured. Maybe the Centura Pearl would look really nice for this with that lovely shimmer on it. You might want to add some of your sparklings. There's so many different mediums that you could colour this with, but I chose the pigment inks, and I've gone for 3 different colours and actually chosen the ocean blue. So we've got a little bit of blue in here, we've got a little bit of crushed velvet, and we've got a little bit of pink tulip in there as well. So you can see how we've gone from it being plain white to being coloured, and I've just coloured the one side because we're going to stick this part of it together. Now the die will actually put you down the centre a score line as well. So once we've got this coloured to the way that we want it, I'm just going to pop that score line, and you want to make a valley fold in the edge of here. So literally just pop it together, line it up so that it's equal, because the pattern is symmetrical. Just line it up so that it's equal on both sides, and then pop that crease line in at the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to burnish those in place now that we've established where they need to be. And you can see now that we've actually got sort of a segment of that at the ready. Yeah?
And it goes like they look two kissing swans, don't they? Nothing to stop you, I guess, just using that as a flat topper. I bet on a scrapbook page that would look amazing with a photo cut in there.
Like we said at the beginning, you know, that is just the one piece that's been done. So if I've got these cut and inked ready, because the inking just take a few minutes.
Jan, as well, you could use the die to cut your photo and almost paper piece of photo back in if you wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. Of course you can. So yeah, you know, if you want to use them flat, absolutely. So what we've done is we've done this 6 times. All right, so I've got all mine ready because, as I say, the inking does take a little bit of time. So let's pop that white one to one side, and I'm just going to do the same with all of these. I'm just going to pop that fold line in, and when you fold it, make sure that the pieces line up nice and symmetrical. So you can see where the score line is. If you want to reinforce that score line, I know some people like to go over it with the scoreboards, absolutely. So just use your scoreboard and your score tool to reinforce that line. But each one of them wants that fold line just popping in. So it'll just take me a minute or two, Joe, just to get all these ready.
No worries at all. Lots of people very, very excited for that sunflower collection. Astrid says, oh my goodness, the sunflowers. Everyone is going to fall in love with that collection. They really are. I mean, it's going to be one hell of a ride tomorrow. That show. I'm going to need 3 weeks off after that show tomorrow, I think. Miriam says, so looking forward to the sunflower collection. I'm all about a good floral collection, and this one looks like it will not disappoint. No,
I think sunflowers are one of those flowers that can be any occasion, aren't they? So yeah, I think it will be a really nice one.
Is it sunflowers, Jan? I'm sure it is, that turn to face the sun.
Yes.
So as the sun moves in the day they move?
Yeah.
That sounds like me around the pool in France, it really does. You know, constantly rearranging that sun lounger to get the most amount of sun. Clever little things, aren't they?
So I've just got one more of those to do, just to make sure that those are all folded in the right position. And that last one, all I'm doing is just nipping that fold line between my fingers there, and just making sure that it matches up, so that you don't want it to be folded and it be wonky, because we're going to actually start and stick these together. So again, I'm just going to make sure that those folds know where I want them now. Make sure that they're all burnished in and they're going to stay put. And then we've got all our 6 pieces ready to join together. Now again, you have options. You can actually use your dotty tape pen, because we've got elements of that filigree work on there. I'm actually going to use my wet glue in the fine tip applicator for this. And what we're going to do is just start sticking one half to the next half, and you can see that they marry up perfectly there. All right, so I'm literally going to pop glue from my fine tip applicator, which is my tacky glue. So if I just show you the larger bottle, if you're not familiar with that one, I buy it obviously in the big bottle and then decant it into the little applicators, because it's got that lovely fine tip on there. And all I'm going to do is pop a line of glue all the way around here and just dot a little bit on those swirly pieces to make sure that they're all connected at the bottom, just on one side. And then take the next one and we're going to line them up and stick them together so that they all match beautifully. So each piece should match up with the other side, because it is a symmetrical design there. So again, just to get that one fixed together, and then just let that tacky glue do its job, and you can see that we're starting to create that shape. All right, so when we've done that, I'm just going to continue that exact same procedure. So we're going to go to the next side, and we're just going to do that and repeat it 6 times until we've got all those pieces stuck together. So whereas that ornament looks very elaborate when it's finished, you can see now the construction of it is fairly straightforward, and I like something that's repetitive, because it sort of commits it to memory, and once you've made one of these, then you'll remember next time how to actually put them together. So again, just teasing all those little curly pieces into place, and then making sure that the glue's stuck down. we've
Astrid's
got-
just letting me know that apparently there's a very unusual white sunflower called a coconut ice jam.
Oh, I've not seen a white one
neither.
before.
I love a
know,
coconut ice, though, from the
They're
seaside.
quite easy to grow, I think, the sunflowers, aren't
Are they?
It's something that we used to plant them when I was at school with the children. And I think they are quite, because I'm not very green-fingered at all.
Me neither, Jan.
So I tend to stay away from that kind of thing. But yeah, sunflowers I think are quite easy. Once you pop them in the pot and give them a bit of water, and they do grow very quickly, which is great for the kiddies because obviously they've not got to wait for
Yes.
weeks and weeks on end for something to happen.
My old housemate in Peterborough, where I used to live, where I've been staying a little bit recently, she's got a peony bush in her garden.
Oh.
And honestly, she only gets 6 peonies from it every year, and she has to cut them and put them in a vase because they're so big.
They're heavy,
that
aren't they?
they
to fall.
start to hit the floor.
They're one of
she
my
has cut
favourite
them,
flowers.
Jan, and no lie, they're bloomed at the moment in the house. They must
Massive.
be.
They're like balls,
They're like the
aren't they?
size of a dinner plate.
Yeah.
I presume they were fake when I went in because they were
So big.
so huge.
Yeah,
but I
they're
do
one of
love
my
them. But the
favourites.
season is so
What
short.
colour
isn't
are
it?
they?
Sorry, pink.
Pink
Like a
ones.
really blush pastel pink
Yeah.
colour. Yeah, really gorgeous. But they're not around for very long, are they? It's a very
No,
very
and then the
short
bush is just
season.
green for the rest of the year then. So it's like some people are not happy that it doesn't flower for much longer than that.
But I think it's lovely because it signals the start of like proper summer for me
Yeah.
when you see peonies.
Yeah, they're a lovely flower. As I say, one of my peonies and gerberas are probably my two favourites.
They're our Sarah's favourite, aren't they? Peonies
Yeah.
are our Sarah's favourite. Gerberas are the ones that look slightly similar, are they?
They look like a daisy, a big daisy, the gerberas.
What is
yeah.
the one? Am I thinking of a geranium? Looks slightly similar.
To a peony, you're
Yeah.
probably looking at something like a dahlia.
Dahlia, they're the
yeah.
ones that I think of.
They look quite similar. So I've just continued exactly as I showed you at the beginning, just lining those up, and obviously you're going to have more time at home to spend making sure that everything's aligned properly. Okay, time always gets away from us here at the studio. So just making sure that they're on. You can see how it's just slowly coming together. I've just got that one last piece to fit in now, and obviously we need to put glue on both sides to fit that last one in. So I'm going to lay it flat now. Okay, and then take the glue all the way around this time, and that last one's going to stick to both sides to finish that 3D concept there. So again, all I've done is just put little dots of it at the bottom to make sure all those loose pieces are anchored in some way or another. Doesn't have to be all over. And this is what I like about the wet glue. You can just direct it to where you need. But if you're not keen on the wet glue, as I say, your dotty tape pen will work wonders on that one as well. So this one now is going to stick to sort of both sides. So we're going to pop one on there, one at this side, and then just pop it over to meet at the other side. And then with the tacky glue, you just need to hold it in place for a second for it to tack. And then I'm not quite going to finish it off at the top because I want to trap a little bit of ribbon in the top of it as for my hanging element. So just before I stick that down, just got a little scrap of blue ribbon there that we're going to pop in the top. All right, so I'm going to take that and I'm just going to pop my pokey tool in here so that that doesn't stick straight away. And then what I've done is I've taken the extra sets that had the presents in this one. So this is the time to celebrate. Oh, doesn't want to come out the packet. There we go. Oh, the bit that I want was the bit that was stuck by the looks of it. There we go. So you can see here that we've got all those lovely elements on, and I've taken the present here and I've cut this 4 times. So again, I've done cut it 2 times to go back to back. All right, so that you've got your 4 pieces. Now this has actually got a score lining, so if you wanted to create a more dimensional element, you could cut it 4 times and fold them and stick them like we did the main element. But I
Nice.
just wanted a flat one for this that's going to hang in the centre. So what I'm going to do is thread the ribbon through the little hole in the bow there. I've used the same colour inks on this. I'm going to thread this one through here at this side, and then we'll stick these together to make a complete element. Okay, so let me just pop some glue again in the relevant places on there. Just a few dots of that wet glue, or as I say, your dotty tape pen will work again for this one. And then we're going to stick that one so that you've got colour on both sides. Because this element's going to swing around in the centre of it and turn, you want some colour on both. Now you might just want to cut it once and colour both sides of it, that would work as well, but I think this just gives it a bit of strength. By cutting it twice and backing them together like that, we've got that little bit of strength there. So you can see now we've got the colour on both sides, and I've got my ribbon through the centre there to hang it together. And what I want to do is pop this in the top of here before this last bit sticks down. So right in the top, I'm going to add some glue, and then we're going to pop the 2 pieces of ribbon through the gap and just anchor these. Lay them where you want them, how far down you want this to sit. And we're going to pop that into the gap, and then I'm just going to refresh because this glue started to dry under the studio light. So I've just refreshed that glue that I placed around the side, and now we can finish sticking the whole thing together. Now if you've got any of the little clips or pegs or anything like that, if you've used wet glue, you can just peg it all together until that wet glue's had a chance to dry there. All right. If you've used your dotty tape pen and something's not quite aligned, unless you've burnished the dots, again you should be able to take it apart as if you do it sort of straight away. Now I've not quite got mine lined up, but like I said, you'll get more time at home to do this. And then I'm going to snip off the tails on the top of there. We don't need those. So you can see now when we open this up, we've got the 3 sides and the 3 sides that make those 6 in total. And you've got that lovely little decorative element. And then all I've done is I've taken the flowers from the other kit. So the other embellishment kit that had the cocktail glass in has got some beautiful little flowers in. So I've just cut a couple of those as embellishments. You can see here, oops, let me bring it down a section. You can just see here where we've got those. And then I've just taken a sentiment out of one of my pop-out pads there. So again, you know, you can decorate as much or as little as you wish. This is actually the 3D component in its entirety. How much decoration you pop on there is entirely up to you.
I guess you could use that new launch with them if you wanted to.
You could. That would look nice across the bottom, wouldn't it? Just tack it on, yeah? But all I'm going to do is actually pop a couple of little flowers, and I've left those white so that there's a bit of contrast there. Pop those on one side, just so that we've got a little bit of decoration. And then I'm just going to pop that little sentiment on the other side there. So this one says, miss you. The one that I had on my sample was have a beautiful day. So however you want to decorate. And then you've got that lovely little hanging element that's free in the centre. Now if you don't want this to spin, if you want it to be anchored, you could actually anchor it in the bottom of that concept as well. So just like we did at the top, you could anchor it in the bottom between the frames so that it's still. If you put it on clear thread, you know, like the clear fishing wire, you've got that element that will spin then, like we do a little bit with the spinner cards. So again, lots and lots of different ways to do it, but you can see that that wasn't as difficult as what maybe looked when we looked at that original one and thought, oh my goodness, you know, where do I start with something like this? It was very repetitive in the sense that you cut the pieces and then just work your way around sticking them together. Take your time, get everything lined up, and then like Joe says, those lovely sentiments would actually fit. Maybe pop a piece of acetate to stick to either side to give you something to work on, and then one of the sentiments at the bottom would look lovely.
Really cute, and so much you can do with them. And I've got a great deal on them today as well, because you're saving £20 or $26 here. Let me take you through then exactly what you are getting for your money. So you've got the heart one here, which is your opulent heart. You've also got the decadent butterflies, and then all the embellishing elements to go with them too. So you've got your dream of summer. We don't need to dream anymore, it's here, Jan. Oh, it's my favourite time of the year, it really is. Then you've got time to celebrate there as well. $29.97, $39.48 is your price on those. Miriam says, my grandmother had sunflowers in her garden. I love them. She had all kinds of flowers. She would let me pick the ones I wanted, and then I would make her a bouquet, and she would share with me how I would arrange them, which was brilliant. Yeah. How lovely that. I'd like to do like a little part-time flower arranging course, you know. I'm at my happiest when I'm pottering around the flat, moving all the flowers around in the vases.
My mum was was really good at flower arranging, but I didn't inherit the skill, unfortunately. When we had our shop, which was all bridal wear, wedding wear, she used to actually make all the flowers for the bouquets and things like that. So we used to go to the markets early in the morning and get all the flowers, and she used to make the bouquet absolutely beautiful. My flower arranging skills consist of taking off cellophane wrapping and popping in vase. That's it. Simple as that.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, they just make me so happy, Jan, flowers. I don't know why.
They're nice, aren't they?
Yeah,
I like
so,
to have
so
flowers. I have to be careful with the hay fever.
Do you?
But,
well, I just snip my lilies are my favourite, but I always immediately snip the stamens out.
Yeah.
Whip
It
them
seems
out 'cause they
cruel,
get
doesn't it? But I know where you're at with them.
Yeah, they just get everywhere otherwise.
It stains, doesn't it?
Yeah, they should be called stanums, not stamens. That's what they should be called. Anyway,
That's brilliant.
I know, thank you. I'm not here all week. I'm only here tomorrow. I'm off for 3 weeks. But anyway, let's move on. Let's have a little look at this, our Bee-Youtiful collection that we've got for you. So it's Bees in the Nature. Is this first one here. You know what this gives you, Jan?
Does it give you an opportunity,
Opportunity
Of
to
course
craft.
it
Yes,
does.
it does. Look, it's your beautiful cut and emboss folder. Then you've got one of these wonderful border embossing folders. We're doing quite a lot of these. Sort of super handy, these, aren't they? Just for a little bit of added detail.
It's just that when you went to be thinking, it just needs that little bit of something. Those are great, aren't they, for just adding a bit of detail to your projects?
They are great. This one here is Bumbling in the Flowers. So, and this one's great because you can use this kind of any way you want, which is great. You can also snip bits out of that. Talking about snipping bits out, you can also do exactly the same with this creator card that you've got here, which is the Sweet as Honeycomb. Then we're going to move into some of the floral dies that we've got for you, dies and stamps within there, which is glorious. So you can see really nice big set of stamps and dies in there. So you're going to get the bee blooms. You also get this one here, which is your honeybee. And you'll get the all-bee hive as well in the stamps and dies. And then you've also got one of your layering stamps here too. 52.15 or 79.56. That saves you 40%, which is awesome. 40% off there. 34.77, 53.04 is your saving. We're going to take a quick break, give you an opportunity to check out your baskets, and once you've done that, we'll see you back here in a couple of minutes. Whilst you do that, here's all the details of US shipping.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges, and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95, and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members, who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Put away your tape measure and fabric scissors. The Threader's fabric cutter offers accuracy and precision with every cut. This handy tool slices through fabric in a guillotine style. Its ergonomic design features a comfortable and protective handle, so it's safe and easy to use whether you're right or left-handed. Its 45mm rotary blade will cut up to 6 layers of fabric at a time, so your sewing, quilting, and upholstery project times are cut down to size. It's equipped with a measuring guide in metric and imperial for a perfectly accurate cut every time. The built-in grid ruler has 30-degree, 45-degree, and 60-degree angle lines, so you can cut fabric on any angle, including the bias. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Very, very busy. Lots of you taking the opportunity to check out there. Christine Mahoney says, Joe, that's way too long to be away from us, Joe. We all miss you. I know. We are having a little break from each other. I think you deserve some time off, as much as I do, to be honest. I think you need a break. Yeah, I get to go on holiday, which is really, really lovely. I, of course, will miss you all. You specifically, of course, extra more so, Christina. Right, any questions you've got, get them. Christina, not Christina, Christine, sorry. That was said with such like...
love and affection, wasn't it?
Real affection. Yeah. And then I said your name wrong at the end. Sorry, I will miss you, Christine. Let's have a little look at these then. One of our recent launches from last week. They were exceptionally busy. You guys loved them last night as well in Second Chance Sunday, and they are busy still now. What I love about these is that they are, again, a lovely size. I think they're a lovely size to go with today's launch. You get the Dainty Daisy in here, the Dreamy Dandelion. This one here is your Pretty Foliage, and you've got the Charming Floral. $21.99, $28.50, definitely not going to break the bank. Under £18 or $23 for Platinum members. But real versatility in these ones, Jan, isn't there?
Honestly, they're ones, we always talk about this basket that you have sat on your desk of dies that don't actually get put away. And this is another one. I'm going to have to start and get a bigger basket, because not only have I got sort of nesting dies in there now, I've got the smaller embellishment dies that we did for the mini. And now these again, you know, they're perfect for making any of your projects. We always sort of want some kind of embellishment, whether it's a flower, a butterfly, whatever it is on there. And these absolutely are gorgeous. They really are. So shall we do a demo with these while we're here, Joe? Yep. So I'm actually going to have a go at this one. All right. So we've popped this together using those lovely sort of turquoises and yellows, and I've just made it as a long DL card this time, just to show you some different ways. And I know over the last couple of days with the launch, there's been some beautiful makes with these. So they're big enough again to be a focal point on the card, or it may just be that you want an odd one or two just to finish off a little area where you think it needs that little bit of something left over. So we've taken the Dreamy Dandelion, all right, and I love the shape of this one. Oh, she says, what have I done with the die? Where's it gone? I've got an empty packet.
Well, Debbie was in last night, and not that I like, well, I do like to blame Debbie for everything, really, but she got them all mixed up in the packets, and she said, I'll sort those out in a moment.
I wonder if it's in one of the others. That one's the...
I think you might just need to empty them all, Jan.
Aha! I've got two in one, look.
There you are.
Look at that, here we go. And you just have to see the two that I want.
This is why Debbie always gets the blame, because it's always Debbie.
Bless her. So yeah, there's my dandelions. That's the one that's come out of here. And you can see, you know, they're a nice size to work with. All right, so that largest one there, it's saying 2.2 inches. Yeah, so just over 2 inches square on the largest one, and then they're graded down in size. And then I'm also going to take that Pretty foliage one as well, and I've cut some of the leaves ready. So again, you can see these are all small enough, once again, to work with that mini. And I'm all for that. You know, keep it near your desk. If you've got a smaller die, don't use those large Gemini plates. You sort of look after them, preserve them, and just use the smaller ones where you need them. So what we're going to do then is we're going to cut, I've just got some colours, different colours of card.
Loving that blue, Jan.
And I'm going to take, yeah, it's that sort of turquoise. And this nice, is all from the Knitwit collection, the Kindly Thoughts collection. So that colour scheme runs through there. So I'm going to take a couple of those leaves, and then the triple one. And then we're also going to do 3 each of the flowers. So we'll do a couple in there and one in there. So I'm just going to stick them down first so that they don't fall off when I pick up the cardstock. Pam
says, I think Joe is already into vacation mode.
Yes, I was thinking that too, so? Pam. Yes.
Oh, I was wait till tomorrow, I'll show you vacation mode.
Are you going away, Joe?
I am. I'm going on... I'm not really doing much whilst I'm off, no. I say jokingly, because yes, I am going on... I'm going on 4 holidays.
4 holidays?
I haven't been on any holidays.
Why would I have expected anything less?
So I'm going to Provence for a few nights. They're all sort of quite small things though, Jan. So
yeah,
going to Provence for a few
nights.
No
law against it.
Provence for a few nights, just an hour north of Marseille with some friends. We have like a little villa with a pool, which would be lovely. I'm going to be literally 80% baguettes and croissants by the time I come back from
I'm
there.
feeling jealous already.
I've got about 3 stone on. I'm going to Tunbridge Wells for a couple of nights,
Yeah.
a nice hotel, and then I am off to Glastonbury, and then I'm going to round it off with a couple of nights in Seville at the end. It's going to be
Brilliant.
a glorious few weeks.
That sounds like a well-earned break, Joe. As I say, you work hard, you deserve it, so don't apologise. I'm just stood over here going a bit green, a bit jealous over here.
Yeah, so I'll try and pop some stuff on my Facebook and my Instagram as well whilst I'm away. Share it with you. Rub it in is what I mean, basically. Wind you all
just
up
make
with
us
it,
all
is
a
what
bit
I'm
more
saying.
green with envy, yeah.
Yeah, you might want to mute me for a few weeks, is all I'll say.
So I've just passed all those through that little mini there, and you can see how beautifully. So just to take that tape off there, and then all your dies have got a little release hole in them. So just with your pokey tool, nice and gentle, just release that, and I just love the shape. You know, even without actually making flowers with these, I can see now mentally in my head a background, just a background made on a piece of card where you take them off the edge of the card so that you've got, let me just find a piece of card here. Some of them on the card, and then some of them actually going off the edge and cutting them, you know, so that you've got them like so, and actually making a background for a piece with them like that. As I say, my head sort of goes into overdrive, and then I have to, this is where the notebook comes in handy, because I have to make a note of these things, because by the time I get back to my craft desk, I'm like, what was I going to do with those again? So that's the little flowers there, the 3 sizes of the flowers, and then we've just got a selection of the leaves as well, and again, just pop them out with the pokey tool. We've got 2 singles there, and then that triple one. Oops. Beautiful.
Very, very busy again,
Yep.
still on these. Angela says, Jan is absolutely my favourite craft person today, and I'm always happy with everything she demonstrates.
Oh, thank you. That's lovely. I do enjoy it, and I do enjoy being able to share it, as I say, as well. It's nice now that, I mean, I've crafted for probably about 20 years now. Started off as a hobby for me, but I love now that I can share.
How did you get started
what
with it,
I've
Jan?
learned? Just by somebody giving me a handcrafted card.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for my 40th birthday, when I was working in school at the time, and somebody actually gave me a birthday card, and I was like, you've made it? What do you mean you've made it? I was a bit blue, a bit green around the gills, a bit sort of naive, and I was like, what do you mean you've made it? She said, I've made it myself. And I was I still got it, absolutely blown away by it. And I went out and bought a card kit, and made a few cards for friends that, you know, that I work with for their birthdays, and then it just, you know,
That
the
was
rest
it from
history.
there.
Now I've got enough stuff, I could probably open up the conservatory as a store, because there's that much stuff in there, but yeah, that's how it all started, and you know, it's just grown and grown, and I do prefer paper crafting. I do a lot of card making, scrapbooking, I like 3D projects, I like doing home decor things as well. So yeah, however you want to go with it.
Anne says, is all this vacation time normal for people over there? In the US, you're lucky to get 2 weeks a year. 4 weeks is the norm for us, isn't it, in the UK?
Yes.
28 days holiday a year. Yes, so I guess it's quite normal. We do all tend to take our holidays in, I think it depends, isn't it, if you've got young children or not.
Yes.
And what happens is, if you don't have children that are at school, everyone seems to take their holiday in June.
Yeah.
That's when you want to take the
Preschool
holiday.
holidays, yeah.
If you've got children of school age, July is when you take your
July and
holidays,
August,
because obviously
yeah.
they're on holiday. People that don't have children do not take holidays in July because it is so expensive.
It's expensive, isn't it? Yeah.
When do they break up? From the early July, is it?
It's usually mid-July,
Mid-July.
about the second week
Until
in
the
July.
sort of very beginning of September.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So it's
so
usually the
July
first
and August.
Monday in September that they go back.
So if you were on a holiday, you wouldn't book a package holiday in July and August if you didn't have
No,
children, because it's
no.
too expensive.
I
Maybe
think-
a little staycation or a city break if you want to go anywhere in July or August.
They sort of hike the prices up because they know people can only go. I mean, I was like that for 14 years. I could only holiday during school holiday times. We weren't allowed to take time off in term time unless it was something, you know, like you were getting married or something like that. So I've got lots of bits and pieces to play with there. All I've done is I've just stuck them alternatively with the blue and the yellow, so that we've got some sort of different designs to play with there. I've got the leaves at the ready. I've got some more that I've cut there at the ready as well. And then the card blank is just literally some mats and layers. So again, I've just taken that DL card, which is the width of our A4, and then it's about 4 inches wide. across there. I've taken some of the yellow from that collection to match it's the same card as what I've cut out, and then a piece of the pattern paper. So that's going to be our first layer, and I'm just going to pop that down with my tape pen.
Christine Mahoney says, I haven't been on a big vacation for so long, but when I do, I'm coming to visit all of you, Joe, and you're going to take me on a grand tour. Sounds like a plan. I guess if it means then that we don't have to test now to go to the US, I guess that means that people can come here from the US and go back again without testing. So hopefully, for all of our US viewers, it's made the whole thing a bit easier.
Maybe, yeah. I know there's such a lot of the restrictions have lifted now for a lot of the countries, haven't they? So
yes, because I don't think there's any. I think testing is pretty much finished for almost everywhere now, Jan, which is nice.
It is, because it was very invasive. I think it's probably a good word.
I think it was just the lack of certainty was a problem last summer, wasn't it? You could go and then you couldn't go, or was that the summer before? I don't know.
I think that was the first year, wasn't it? It was very confusing. So that's just my matten layers on that card just to create the background layer. Then I've got a couple of little scraps just to break up that length there. So again, I'm going to keep these flat. So we've got the yellow layer to match that background, and we're just going to pop that one from side to side there. And then this is a double-sided paper, so the side that we used here, I'm going to flip over and use the other side as a complementary pattern there. So again, just with the tape pen for these flat layers. So that one's going to fit on top of there. So that's my sort of card base. And then earlier we were talking about those lovely nesting dies. So this is actually from one of those sets, and we'll look at these in a bit more detail in the launch day show. But just using one of those and a circle die just to create a background to now mount these layers on. So again, the top layer is going to go down flat, and then I'm going to start and introduce some foam pads to build up a little bit of dimension now with the flowers and this piece here.
Panda Crafts says when you have kids you can't afford to go on holiday, full stop. Angela says to get 4 weeks you have to have worked for 30 years in the same place here in the USA. Wowzers, trousers.
That's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of companies here in the UK you get sort of 28 days as standard, and then a lot of companies give you an extra day, don't they, for every year, up to about 8 days.
Yeah, then there's a query over, like us here, obviously at CTV, we can work during the bank holidays as well.
Yeah, so you get those back.
So sometimes you get those back as well, don't you? Yeah.
In Australia, Sarah Brown just said, actually, Joe, when are you back in Australia? We can do lunch. I'd love to do lunch, Sarah.
Lovely.
I was hoping to go back in March next year. I should have gone last year, but obviously this year even, but didn't. But fingers crossed, March next year. But in Australia, you get something called long service leave. And I believe it's after you've worked for 10 years, you get 3 months off paid.
Very nice.
On top of your yearly holiday allowance, which is very nice. I think I've got that right, Sarah, haven't I? Do let me know if I've butchered that. I probably have.
So all I'm going to do now then is scatter these about and then just tuck some of those gorgeous leaves that we've cut in the green there. Just lift and tuck these behind to give the illusion that we've actually got some foliage in there as well. So as much or as little as you wish, you know, you don't have to go mad with this. You can put as many on. You might want to cover the whole section. And then I've actually got some pearls just for the centre of the flowers there. So again, pop that in the middle. And then I'm going to use a foam pad just one here, which is the same height as the die cut that we use, because the next one I want to just overlap the edge like so, and again just pop those pearls in the centre there. So again, you know, whatever you've got around in your stash, you can see how easy this sort of goes with it and complements it. And then again, just by adding the foliage in there, I'm just popping a little tiny bit of glue because I don't want the leaves to be stuck down. A little bit of freedom there, and that one's going to go just underneath the edge there. Keep it in the parameters of the card so that it's not overhanging from the point of view of your envelope. And then that last one, we're just going to pop flat again, so we've got a bit of alternate dimension there. That one's going to go...
I did get it right, Jan. It is 3 months paid extra holiday in the year for your 10-year service.
That's
Erin
very
says
good.
she's going to move to Australia, our producer Erin. And she says, have I got a new fancy black water bottle so as you can't see the green algae in it? That's exactly, Erin, why I've gone for this, because I was getting red to filth
That's
from
brilliant.
my other water bottle.
Oh,
It
they
was
do
green.
though. It's just something that
Julia even stole it from the green room and washed it about 6 months ago. She was so concerned I was going to get Legionnaire's disease or something like
oh
that
my
from it.
days.
So yeah, you can't see it. Do you know what I think though? I think the sippy ones are quite bad for going green. I think the ones with the removable
Yeah.
top, I don't know why. And also, I didn't realise how much easier it is to drink out of a thing, like trying to suck the living daylights out of it, trying to get some water out of it.
Honestly.
Honestly, this is like, it's all new.
So
It
all
was
I've
probably all
done-
the algae in the straw, George just pointed out, probably was. Honestly, I nearly gave myself a nosebleed last time I drank out of it. Much easier. Maybe I am slightly in vacation mode, Jan, now come to think about
I
it.
think I've noticed that. I would agree, yes. So we're just going to pop a little sentiment at the bottom there, and then I've got a little tiny piece of ribbon. The last one I actually tied around the card, but do you know, I always forget the ribbon element, so we'll just pop it on there, and then just to finish off, I've got 1, 2, 3 of those smaller pearls just to go, whoops, towards the bottom there. And again, I'll show you this one, and I'll show you the one that we did earlier. So just to pop those on. And I've just used my wet glue for those. You can see that's the one that I've just done. And then the one that I did earlier, I'd actually wrapped the ribbon. I'd got a piece that went all the way around here, but you know, whichever way you want to do it actually works both ways. So I'll show you that finished one with the ribbon round. But again, you know, just one simple idea, making those flowers the sort of focal point on your card. But there are so many different ways. These are a set that I need to get my hands on. I haven't got them yet, John. I'm hoping they don't sell out before I can get hold of a set
Just
of
slip
these.
those one in your bag, don't worry. Tracy, I know she's quite eagle-eyed, Tracy.
Just leave the empty packets and we'll blame
Just
Debs.
leave the empty packets, yes, and then no. Right, let's move on. Let me share with you, again, what you're getting in here then. Really lovely, succinct collection. You've got the Dainty Daisies. These are your Dreamy Dandelion. This is your Pretty Foliage. And you've also got there as well the Charming Floral. Brilliant price for you. $21.99, $28.50, $17.59 or $22.80 for Platinum members. Now, some really nice deals for you coming up on ink pads in our later Monday Maker Show. So I'll give you a preview of those now. Water Reactive, these are our most popular ink pads. These are our biggest selling ink pad because they just blend together so beautifully. If you love inky backgrounds, you're going to love these. You've got Bordeaux, Orange, Straw Bale, Plum Jam. Oh, ding dong. I love that colour. Fuchsia, Pink Tulip, Midnight. Then you've got the Ocean Blue, Jet Black, and the Parakeet. Oh, so a really, really lovely colour collection there for you. You've got a 20% saving on them, which is brilliant for ink pads. $37.59 or $56.79 if you're a Platinum member. Now, it's quite special, because something we don't often have on the show. These are our Midas ink pads. Anyone that's not seen these before, Jan, where do these sit within sort of the rest of our range?
So these are water-based, just like the rest of the range, and they come into that same format in a grey casing this time, so that you can sort of establish them from the others. But the beauty of these is they've got the mica in there to make them metallic. So you're going to get the best effect with these on darker coloured cards, so black, navy, dark brown, things like that. You will see that metallic element. If you use them on a lighter colour card, you'll get the pigment, the colour, but you'll not see so much of that sort of shiny, shimmery metallic element on the lighter card. So they work on both, but if you want that lovely Midas touch, that metallic sort of effect, they do work. And you can stamp with them, you can colour with them, you can go direct to your stamps, lots and lots of different ways, make backgrounds with them. They will behave just like an ordinary water-based ink. They've just got that metallic element running through them.
Really great to have them on the show. You're saving over 20%, which is brilliant. $32.99 or $49.99 is your price there on those. I've got to tell you about some other stuff that's happening over on the website at the moment. Remember, it's National Sewing Machine Day today, and we've got a couple of brilliant deals for you. Up to 65% off selected bundles in our Softcraft flash sale, so that's excellent. And then also 3 for 2 on all by the metre fabrics, which is wonderful. So do go check that out. Then also looking ahead to an incredible Totally Tiffany anniversary show this coming Saturday. Loads of great deals over there, and a spend more, save more. So spend 30, you'll save 5%. Spend 50, oh sorry, spend 30. Oh, that's really good, isn't it? I thought it was 5%. So that's one, so actually what, if it was 5%, you'd save £1.50. Spend 30, you save £5 whole pounds, or dollars, of course, depending on what you're spending. Spend 50, save 10, spend 80, save 20. So spend 80, save 20, that is a 25% discount. Yep. And you can use that in conjunction with your Club Inspire discount. Yes. That is pretty shamazing, isn't it? Pretty shamazing, yeah. So yeah, you take your Club Inspire discount off first, and then your other, and then you take your other discount off after that, which is wonderful.
Sort of like a subtotal, isn't it? Yeah.
Rosalind says, hello all, just waking up, checking out the Softcraft sale. I know, what a treat, eh, Rosalind? Angela's really excited to see the, receive the order of these flowers. Pammy says, what a cheerful card. Astrid, loving the colour choices there as well. Any questions you've got, or maybe you've got some really good salacious gossip you want to share with me and Jan, you can send it in to us, Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are across on YouTube. We are going to, of course, come back to this amazing brand new launch for you. First chance you've had to get your hands on them here on Crafters TV, and also we've got an exclusive one for you too. So if you got these from HSN, or you're getting these from HSN, or you are in the UK and you got them from Hobby Maker, then there will be one that you didn't receive. Now, this is available on its own individually. So if you want to go for the individual of this, absolutely you can. Actually, let's bring the details in for that individually. There it is, $6.99 or $8.95. Any two for £12 or $16. All of you so far going for the main collection. But if you didn't manage to get that one elsewhere, maybe you want to complete your collection, you've got the option to do so. You will get, of course, all of them, though, in this collection. So you've got Best Wishes. You've then also got, oh, hello. Let's pop you back on there. Cheeky little thing. It says thanks, not hello. They're pointing out the alley. Thank you for that. Thanks very much for that in the gallery. You've then got Just to Say. This one here says happy birthday. Then you've got Special Friend and Enjoy Your Special Day. So 5 really usable, really craftable sentiments, $27.96 or $35.80, which is not going to break the bank. You're getting one of them for free, which, considering we just launched them, is pretty remarkable, isn't it? $22.37 or $28.64 if you are a Platinum member. Any questions you've got about these, get them into us. Jan, I'm really looking forward to spending a couple of hours on these at 2 p.m.
Yeah, we can go into a bit more detail with them later. I've got lots of demos planned for you with all the different sentiments, but I just love that we're able to offer a discount on something new here at Crafters TV, because if you went into a store to buy something, you wouldn't get a discount on it until later when it had been out for a while and they were wanting to move stock. But the fact that we're giving you a discount on a new product and then your Club Inspire discount, if you're not a member of Club Inspire, get signed up. It's free to join, and you will get, as a new member, you will still get that 20% saving on your first order, so it's worth joining up for. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to those sentiments just to finish off the show this morning, and I've gone for Special Friend on this one. I've stayed with that Knitwear collection. While I'd got that out, we've just sort of transferred it into a different style card, and what I've done here is I've just cut away some of the front of the card to make this a feature, and we've incorporated one of those. I said, well, we're going to sort of revisit those nesting dies, so you can see how you've got those lovely square frames there in the modern swirl, and I've just taken one of those out of there, the smaller section out of there. If I just take the metalwork off here, you can see, whoops, how that one's just sort of the size for the one that I've got on the front of the card there. So this is just one out of that set. You've got lots of others in there, plus all the other designs. Again, a really good bargain on there. So let's talk you through this. If you weren't watching at the top of the show, I actually showed you how to do all the stamping with this and how the concept worked. So in your packets for your sentiments, you're going to get a die element and then a little packet with your stamped elements in. So we've called them a stamp and die set. So the die element cuts out a mat which you can then stamp into with your sentiment there. So for example, we've got here,
Alexia was actually just asking, the die on this, is it a shadow? I wouldn't describe it as a shadow, would you?
No, it's this, well, it creates, if you look at the one that I did earlier, if I bring you this one in, there is actually space around the stamp. So it is like a mat. So the stamp doesn't go right to the edge of it. What I'm actually going to do with this is actually, funnily enough, put like a drop shadow behind it, because what I've done is I've cut it in the white like we did first thing this morning and stamped the friend into it. But then I've cut it again just as a plain piece, and what we're going to do is just literally offset it slightly so that you can see here when we pop it down that you've got that little bit of shadow behind it. So it is available to do that. Lots of different ways of playing around with it. I love your idea, Joe, of cutting these in several different colours to stagger them, and then just having the stamped element, so you could have, you know, sort of gold, 2 or 3 different colours, and then the stamp on the bottom one would look nice as like a cascade down the front of a card. That would look really nice. So as I say, all I've done is cut this piece here in white card, so you can see that fits in the die beautifully, and again these all fit. I keep stressing that all the sentiments fit through your little mini, so if you've got the mini machine, this is ideal without actually putting extra wear and tear on your larger plates for the Gemini machines. If you don't have a Gemini, they will fit through any of your other machines. They are just a thin metal die. So we've cut it once in white, and then I've stamped on the front of it there with some of those Midas inks. I've used the gold on there, but can you see there's a little tiny bit of a shimmer on there, but that shimmer shows up better on a darker card, but I just wanted this to blend in with the rest of the colour tone. And then again, I've just taken some gold satin card, and you can see how that fits in that die, and I've cut it a second time. So that's using the actual stamp and die set. If you want to see that in a bit more detail, just rewind when we finished to the beginning of the show, and I showed you how to cut it, how to attach it to your stamp platform, and how to stamp into it, okay? So that's our special friend there. And then I've used that die on the same gold cardstock, and we've cut out that lovely filigree shape there. So these are really, really nice. You know, for again, lots, you know, this might be actually your focal point on a card that you want to put. How gorgeous would that be to make a little photo frame? Maybe 3 of them on a card, or even on a scrapbook page, something like that. You could make it into a mirror by popping some silver mirror card behind it. So many different ways to use them, but that's just one element. You can see we've got that larger 5x5 design, and then we've got elements that cut out. I've used this one in conjunction with the thin frame here, because this one doesn't have a cutting edge. So by popping the thin frame has cut me an aperture out of the centre. And then you also, in each of these, you get a little extra embellishment, which can be a corner. I like to actually pop these on the, if you're making a coordinating envelope, or even if it's just a plain envelope, these look lovely if you actually die cut them and pop them into the corner of your envelope, so that you've got like a matching set, which is something that you don't tend to see much in the shops. So again, lots of different ways to pop those together. And I love being able to mix and match your projects, you know, sort of using stamp sets from one, die cut elements from another. So we've got that at the ready. And then each stamp set has a coordinating stamping block capitals there. So for this one, we've got the die and the stamp as friend, and then we've got the extra piece as special. So again, I've just stamped that out just to make a little tiny plaque with the special on it at the ready. So we've got our components there at the ready. So what we're going to do is pop that together to make our card. So all I've done is take, let me just remind, 6x6 card, and then I've cut away elements from the sides. So I've cut away 1.5 inches from each side of it, just to create this sort of thinner piece for the centre here. All right, so in the back we're just going to mat and layer some of those pieces. So I've used that same, I've kept that gold theme running all the way through there. So again, tape pen around the edges of there. If you prefer your wet glues, I would be going for the sort of the Kalal all-purpose to get a nice bond between the 2 sets of cardstock.
The name's Bond, permanent bond.
And then I've taken a piece of that lovely patterned card from that Knitwick collection. Again, you can see that same colour scheme as we've just used with those flowers.
Very, very busy on these fantasy sentiments, Jan. Stock is going very
I'm not
quickly
surprised. I like a good sentiment, I must admit. I think they just finish a project off nicely. I've got some shaker elements later on for you in the launch show. I've got a lovely little gift bag as well as some different card designs. Yeah, using those sentiments as a focal point. So again, a piece of that sort of satin gold there just to pop on that front so that it all marries up nicely. And these are just the quarter of an inch increment there, just to show that border. And then again, this is all double-sided paper in this collection, so the reverse, you've got that lovely contrast, but you know that it's all going to coordinate because it's come from the same paper pad there. So again, little bit of tape on there, and that one's going to go. So that's my card base created there, and then we're just going to start and layer up some of the elements, and I'm going to bring my foam pads back into place. So what I want to do is pop this on as a background, basically just something to sort of frame that sentiment there. So again, I'm going to bring in, rather than using the double-sided tape pen that I've just stuck all my mats and layers down with, I'm going to swap it for my dotty tape pen. And if these are new to you, it's exactly the same tape. It's a double-sided adhesive tape, but this one comes as a piece of block tape. So if I run this over the back of my die cut, I'm going to see...
Some people would say I wouldn't, Jan. Some people would say you get glue bogies. I wouldn't obviously be that uncouth to say those things.
But you did.
Oh, I'm just highlighting what, you know, some other people might call them.
Yeah, if you use the solid one, you'll see the sort of the strips of glue behind those delicate die cuts there, whereas this one is the same tape but in dot form. So on the back of here, all I'm going to do is just very gently rub this across the back, and it just deposits those dots where there's cardstock. So it's not going to leave any residue of the adhesive in between those holes in the die cut there. And then that will allow me to pop that on my card and secure that in place. Just gentle rub to make sure it's stuck down. And it's perfectly, not right across, Jan. I didn't realise that. I don't need glue on the edge there, but I can rub that. It'll just literally, the dots will just rub away. Okay, and just take those off the edge so that it doesn't stick to the back there.
Amazing.
Okay, all right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sort of just layer this one like I showed you. We do it on the back of the white again. So it's the same die cut, so literally on the first card we stack them up to make more like a little chipboard piece rather than a piece of cardstock. I like to do that with my sentiments so that they've got a bit of rigidity, but this time instead of sticking it directly over the top, I'm just going to pop it to one side so that when we lay this down you can see that there's like a shadow element to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the glue around the top edge, and I'm going to go back to the wet glue this time so that it gives me that second or two to just manoeuvre it into place. So I'm just going to pop glue along the top edge of the die which has got the stamp on, and then hover as if you're going to work over this one, and then just drop it. I like to drop it down and to the right just slightly. Okay, and that leaves a little bit of that gold exposed, and the wet glue just allows you to sort of wriggle it into place there. And then once you're happy, get it all stuck down. So again, you can see there we've just got that little bit of sort of frame around it. If you wanted that to be all the way round, someone said, does it act like a matten layer, Joe? If you cut it a second time, but instead of dropping it down to the bottom and right, you could pop it up and left, and you'd get some showing round the other side of it, which would create the effect of a matte layer underneath it. So there's ways and means of doing bits and pieces like that. So what I'm going to do now then is I'm just going to cut some of these in half because those are not quite as deep. And then we're going to
remember what's happening for the rest of the day as well here on Crafters TV. So myself and Jan will be back with you for that launch day. Oh, hello. Just was out of my box there, wasn't I? We'll be back with you for that launch day in about 90 minutes' time. So 2 p.m. in the UK, 9 a.m. East Coast, 6 a.m. West Coast. And then we bring your Monday to a close in style with Monday Makers a little bit later. That'll be 6 p.m. here in the UK, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 a.m. over on the West Coast. So make sure you keep it tuned to us all day. And then tomorrow, it was meant to be myself and Debbie here. She's a little bit under the weather, so she's absolutely fine. I spoke to her last night. It will be me and Corinne tomorrow as well here all day for you. My favourite work colleague's just come into the studio, Willow.
I was just about to say, I bet you know what I'm talking about.
Erin, I love Erin. I love Willow more, I do. Hey, Willow.
So I've just cut a couple of little butterflies, and those are from those original dies that came out for the mini. We did an outline section, and again, these are great as little go-tos if you want extra embellishment. So I'm just going to pop those on the background layer like so. And then the very last thing, you know, a card's never complete without a bit of bling, in my opinion. So just on those corners of that front panel there, just to add a little bit of bling and a bit of sort of dazzle there, and we're all good there. So let's have a look. That's out of the way. Pop the top back in my glue so that it doesn't dry up. Move everything out the way for you, and then if we turn that one round, you can see again just a different way of making those lovely little sentiment dies, that sort of focal point on your card there, and incorporating the nesting dies in there with them as well.
Really, really cool, aren't they? $27.96 to get all 5 as well, $35.80 is brilliant value.
Absolutely.
And I think the great thing is, Jan, as well, because you've got all the other thick bits you're going to use with them already.
Yeah,
so you're going to be
there's a
adding
good-
them to all of your other dies and collections.
Of course, I mean, they'll mix and match with anything. You know, a sentiment will go with pretty much any collection that we've ever done. So anything that you've bought from us, all of you out there, like myself, that have got tons and tons of paper pads, you know, get them out, make your backgrounds, pop the stamp on as your focal point on them. You know, use your inks to stamp with. Use the watermark ink and add some embossing powder, or stamp with those lovely pigment inks and get a coloured sort of finish on them. So yeah, we're going to try and cover as much of this as we can, different ways of actually using them in that launch show at 2 p.m. if you can join us. But we just wanted to give you a little taster of them this morning. Brilliant. And I know you're already buying them, so it's worked. Busy.
No, they are very busy, Jan. Lots of love coming in as well. For you, mostly. It's lovely to see Jan. Love all your demos, says Anne. Pretty card, says Anne as well. Alex says, a frame on the card makes me think of show friends and the sentiment being friends. Too cool. I get what you mean, yeah. The logo for Friends is kind of like a picture frame, isn't it? With
yes.
Friends in it.
Yeah.
Yes, I do get that. Let me take you back through the 5 sentiments you're going to get then, because they're really, really versatile, which is brilliant. So you've got Best Wishes, which is a CTV exclusive. Then you're also going to get as well Thanks Very Much, which is this one here. So you've got Thanks Very Much. You've then got also Just to Say, which is that one just there. I need to get that one back on there too. You've then got Happy Birthday, which is this one just here. You've also got Friend, which is that one there. And that is the 5 that you're getting in there. So that is your 5 different sentiments. $27.96 or $35.80 are those. So make sure you're snapping those up. Let me take you back through as well the nesting dies that we have available for you on the show, which are these ones just here. So let's go back through these. The price is unbelievable on these. Should be $77.94, $89.70. They were very, very busy at that price. Is it just me that sees a Chinese dragon in this one, or can you see what I mean? Yeah. Let's go through the rest of them. So that one there is called your Deco Swirl. You've got the filigree frame. You've also got the modern swirl in there. And then you've got your decorative rose. This one is the delicate lace. And you've also got the abstract frames in there too. So do snap those up. Brilliant price. $21.82. That's you crazy girl. That is unbelievable to get. 6 amazing nesting dies. Platinum members $21.82 or $25.11. Like a cartload price this. Absolutely snap those up. Let me take you through some ink pads then. So we've got our quick dries first and foremost. Brilliant for stamping with these. Wonderful for your layering stamps to stamp your sentiments with. They'll go great with our brand new launch. So you've got you've got fuchsia, baby blue, Chinese red, the jet black, which is obviously so versatile. Then you've also got the parakeet there. Seal brown, pine tree, smoked emerald. This one is the misty morning, and you've got the orange there as well. $46.99 or $70.99 your price there. We do also have the water reactives available on the show, which are these ones just here. So in this collection, you're going to get Bordeaux, orange, straw bale, plum jam, fuchsia, pink tulip. That's what my t-shirt is, Jan, isn't it? Pink tulip. Midnight, ocean blue, jet black, and also the parakeet there as well. And again, a great 20% saving, which is wonderful value here on these. $46.99 or $70.99 being your price on those. $37.59 or $56.17. Gosh, there was a lot of numbers. Shall I try that again? Get a 10% saving. Tick. They're £46.99 or $70.99. If you're a platinum member, let's just go with under £38 or $57. How about that? That makes it easier, doesn't it? Does make it easier. Yeah.
Oh, there is a lot of numbers on there.
I thought there's a lot of numbers, isn't there? An awful lot of numbers. If you want to place an order, now's a great time to do so. Head over to the website, craftscompanion.co.uk.com.au. There you can watch and shop at the same time, which is absolutely brilliant. Did we want to get the card of the show out the way? Have you got another finished card coming up?
No, this is just a demo, a technique demo with the ink. So yeah, we could do the vote on the floor that we've done. Yeah, shall we do that first and
Let's
get that going?
That boxed off then. And
so
then
at the top of the show,
Jan's going to go rogue with the ink pads, which excites me a lot.
And well, I'm just going to demonstrate what we mean, because people, we refer to them as water reactive inks, and we know what that means. But if people out there haven't used them before, I'm going to demonstrate what that actually means.
Very exciting.
For you. So top of the show then, we started out with those lovely sentiments, and we did the best wishes, which is the one that's exclusive to the website there. So that's number 1. Number 2 was actually that lovely 3D concept there with the hanging ornaments. So again, we've got that lovely little present in there, just in the centre. So that was number 2. Number 3, we used the dandelions from the new flower sets that we had there, with some of the foliage to complement it. So that's number 3. And then number 4, we went back to visit those sentiments that we've got coming up at 2 o'clock. And we did to a special friend there for number 4. So 1, 2, 3 or 4 for the card of the show. All right, and then all I'm going to do now is, this is not actually a full project, it's just a technique, because like I said, we do talk about all the inks a lot, and if you're new to crafting, you start to think, well, what they're talking about with a water reactive ink or an opaque ink or a quick dry ink. So those of you that were watching at the top of the show, I actually stamped my sentiment on this card with a quick dry ink, and this one's the easiest to explain because it does what it says on the tin. You can stamp, and the minute you've stamped, your ink is set, so you can rub over it and it won't smudge. So for things like sentiments, layering stamps, this one's you want to go to. The opaque ink pads are great, they stay much wetter, so they're great for embossing with, and by embossing I mean heat embossing, where you would put embossing powder over the top. The water reactive ones are great for blending and then adding that water literally to react with it, again what it says on the tin. So I've picked 3 of my favourites there. I'm very much a pink girl. I love these, particularly the plum jam's one of my favourite colours to use. And all I've done is I've just grabbed some applicators out of the box that I've got at the side of me here. So I'm just going to pop the pale one first. I nearly always start with the palest colour, little bit like when we're colouring. And these are on a really nice hard felt pad, this one. So all I tend to do is rub my applicator over the top of it and collect the ink. You're wanting the ink to soak into the applicator here. So literally just rub it over the top there and get plenty of ink into your sponge. Just check it that you haven't overloaded it. Now there's not too much coming off here, so I know I've not drenched it in ink. And then all I'm going to do, I'm going to get a little bit of kitchen paper at the ready, because any sort of heat or moisture from your fingers, once you've started inking, will lift the ink. So I'm going to hold my piece of cardstock with the tissue. And then I'm just going to come in from the edge. If I come in flat with my sponge, sponge applicator, I'm going to get the circle of the applicator. So I'll show you on the back of it what I mean here. You'll start and see that circle in there. So just by tipping your applicator slightly to an angle and coming in from the corner, but not letting this front edge touch the card, you can see how I can move that ink around now and not create that sort of shape in it. So again, keep loading up and layering to get the depth of colour. So I'm going to do the whole piece of card, but I'm going to introduce 3 different colours. So 3 different shades, should I say. So what I tend to do is work in sets of 3. So I've got one corner done. I'm going to move the card around rather than trying to get at a strange angle. And then again, just hold it where I've already inked, and then I'm going to sort of come in again at that slight angle and bring that colour in again. And if you do get sort of areas that look a little bit dubious, please do not worry, because once it's all blended and we've used the water on it, it will not show. So again, last one for this pink, and I'm just going to come in from this side here, and there's no rhyme or reason. You don't have to think too hard about this. I just want 3 areas that have got that light pink in there, okay? And then I'm going to swap this out again now.
It does look like you are making my shirt.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, if I'd have had the green with it, we could have done your shirt, couldn't we? Now then, let me have a look. I think we'll save that one for the dark one. So then I'm going to move to the mid-tone, which is the fuchsia. So these are the same colour families, they're just different tones of the colour. So this one's much more vibrant and a little bit darker in sort of tone. So again, I'm going to come in from the edge, and I'm going to start and join some of those areas. I'm going to leave a little gap here for that darkest one. And we'll go in the middle. Now we'll come from the corner here. And you might think, oh, you're making a right old mess, Jan, but bear with me. I love doing these. It's one of my favourite things to do. I love making backgrounds, full stop, and then keep them in a little basket, so that if I've got a day where maybe I'm wanting to emboss or die cut something, you can just go to those backgrounds and you've got something ready made. So last colour then is the darkest one. This is one of my favourites. This is Plum Jam. So again,
so are these all from the same family, these
yes,
colours, Jan?
so this is all the pink. The way that Leanne designed these, and this differs from a lot of inks out there on the market, they all come in sets of 3. There are 36 colours altogether in each of the quick dry, the opaque and the water reactive, and they're made up of 12 colours in 3 different shades. So you've got 3 shades of pink, you'll get 3 shades of purple, you'll get 3 shades of blue, of green, of yellow, and so on, okay? So that's how she chose to design these, so that you've actually got the ability to do this sort of ombre effect with it. So again, I'm just going to take, some of the ink pads are juicier than others. It depends how much they've been used here at the studio. So you can see the first one, there wasn't much ink came off it, but these ones are actually a little bit more juicy. So just get rid of the excess. Now, I've actually flicked to one of the rectangulars. This is just what I've literally just grabbed out of the pot. So whether you're using a round one or a rectangular one, it doesn't really make any difference. And then where we've got the gaps, I'm going to bring that sort of darkest. But can you see how they all work nicely together? They're all that same colour family, and they're all going to work together. And then when I've got all the colour layers down, a little bit like if you like to work with alcohol pens, you'll know that we start with the lightest, we work up to the darkest, and then sometimes we'll go back through the colours again. And I'm going to do exactly the same here with the ink. So I'm going to go back to the mid-tone. I'm not going to add any more ink, but where the colours touch, I'm just going to blend them out a little bit. Okay, so where those 2 colours touch, and then the last one, I'm going to go back to the pale pink. Again, I'm not going to ink it up, but where those colours touch, just blend out some of those harsher edges where they overlap. And you'll get rid of a lot of those lines that are created.
Beautiful background.
So, you know, you might want to leave it like that. So that's one of the things that these inks were designed for, were for making the backgrounds. So what I'm going to do is just spray. I've just got water in my bottle here.
Well, you haven't got your dirty rag. Where is it?
I have got my rag. It's under here. It's not being left out.
Oh, you knew what? Oh.
It's not as dirty as it used to be. I had to retire the old one,
I miss your old dirty rag.
I know everybody has done, but it was getting embarrassing. It was more than just a dirty rag. It looked like something I'd picked up in the street, honestly. So yeah, I actually, and someone recommended the microfiber cloths because I used to use just a cotton one.
Yeah.
This is great. So this is just the ones that you buy in a pack, 3 for a pound, something like that. So you may want to leave this as is, and then you can use it for die cutting. So you might want to die cut one of those lovely frames out of it, a sentiment out of it. It means that you can match things. It's great if you've not got the right colour cardstock to mat and layer. You may want to actually do this and then pop another piece of card over the top to create a coordinating mat and layer that you know is going to work with your project. What I'm going to do is just show you that water reactive, the reason they get their name. This is just tap water that I keep in my spray bottle, and what I'm going to do now is literally, I'm actually going to put some onto the mat. If I spray this onto my card, I'm going to get a very fine mottled spray on there. But what I actually want is some slightly bigger droplets. So I've just got a paintbrush that I'm loading the water on, and then literally tap it all over. And you're getting little splatters of ink. Little splatters of water on the ink. And what happens is, it's sort of like a reaction now. This is where the alchemy comes in. Because the water, the way the inks are designed, the water starts pushing the ink around. Okay? So I've just splattered everything now with the water, so let's just get that out of the way. But if you leave this for a second or two, and the longer you leave it, the better the reaction. So you actually want a dry area of your tissue then. But can you see, I don't know whether, George, can we get in really close up on that? Come and have a look. You can actually see it working before we block. Can you see here, look? It's starting to push the ink away from where the water landed. You can see it down here. So it's actually moving the ink about, and then when you blot it, so leave it as long as you want. The longer you leave it, the better the effect. And then all I'm going to do is put the kitchen paper over the top and blot that water away. Perfect. And this is where they get the name from, because the water reactive means that it's actually pushed that ink about, and you get, imagine that in dark blue, it would look like the night sky, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
But yeah, just the pinks there. You can do this in any colours. It doesn't have to be the same colour family. You might want to do a yellow, a green and a blue together. You might want to do a pink, a lilac and a blue. Mix your colours. They will work just the same. I just happened to pick 3 that were from the same colour family. And then I would actually be using this as a background. You know, you could actually use one of those new sentiments just on the bottom of here. Absolutely perfect. Yep, so the water reactive is made to and you can see how the water does react with the ink. Okay? Very simple technique.
Absolutely
there's a lot
gorgeous.
more to them,
and
but that is one of the basics.
There's loads you can do, loads of different techniques, and there's so many. I mean, they are incredibly versatile. I was saying to Jan earlier, I didn't put enough product in my hair today, Jan. I keep catching myself. I look like Boris Johnson in this. I was sticking up like a bird's nest today.
You're out in the gap.
Yeah. Demo of the show was number 3, Jan. It had almost double the amount of votes of any of the others.
Number 3 was the flowers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one.
There we are.
1, 2, 3. That's right. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys.
Brilliant. So we will pop that forward for card of the day a little later. Just to recap then what you're getting in those water reactive ink pads, all the different colours here. You're going to receive Bordeaux, Orange, Straw Bale, Plum Jam, Fuchsia, Pink Tulip, the Midnight, this one here is the Ocean Blue, you've got the Jet Black, and you've got the Parakeet in there as well, which is amazing. So snap those up. £12.91 at £18.51 is what you're saving there with those. We're going to look now here at the Nature's Garden Bee-Youtiful Collection. This is a Bee-Youtiful Collection. And great that we've still been able to bring you an 8-piece collection on this, which is amazing. So here comes the details. 52.15 or 79.56 here. You're going to get this one, which is Bees in the Nature. This is your cut and emboss folder. Then you've also got here the Bees and Flowers. Really lovely little border embossing folder for you. This one is a Bumbling in the Flowers. It's a creative card, this one, but on a round one, it cuts in, not out. So you're all going to have some nesting dies, which you could use to cut that out. But the other brilliant thing with it is you can layer this one up quite nice, you know, and snip elements out and create quite the scene with that. And you can actually do that again with this one here, which is your creator card. You've got the removable outside edge on that. Works brilliantly in things like your boxes as well, which is wonderful. And again, you can layer that up, paper pieces back together beautifully, that one as well. We then have your stamps and dies in here. So you've got 3 different sets of the stamps and dies. You should be looking at £86 here, $132. So you've got a brilliant, brilliant saving. This one here is your beehive. Then you are going to get the honeybee there, beautiful. And you will get this one, which is your bee blooms. Also, you're going to get the layering stamps in here too, which make up that beautiful bee image, which is gorgeous. Now, let's move back and have another look at the stencil and stamp combo that we've got on the show for you. These are really, really wonderful. They're big, these as well, is the thing. You've got lots in here. I think if you really want to play around with something like the water reactive ink pads that Jan just showed us and, you know, really get some sort of very bold backgrounds going on, really create a wow, these will let you do that. So you've got actually 4 stamps in here, 4 stencils, sorry, in this one. Then you've got your stamps as well. You can see you've got the little girl there on the swing, which is wonderful. And you've got sentiments in there too. That one is that's beautiful moments that you've got just there. Then you've got strength and love, which is your sort of safari scene. This one here is your unicorn. That one's follow your dreams there. Absolutely brilliant. They do cry out for things like sparkle inks and pens, I'm thinking, Jan, as well, these.
Yeah, in the background, you can make some beautiful backgrounds and then use your black inks to stamp or to stencil through them over the top, yeah.
Very clever here how you've got
so the background that I've just made here would be great for using those stencils over with the black over the top of it, yeah?
It would, yeah. Very clever. You've got the positive and the negative on the stencil there as well. So it's almost the mask, haven't you, as well as the stencil itself. That one was Believe in Yourself. This one is called Magic is in Your Heart, is that one there, with the wonderful fairy. And then you are getting this one. Look at those. They look happy, don't they? It's a little bit of Singing in the Rain. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the film La La Land. That's what it reminds me of.
I've not seen that.
Yeah, I think it's the sort of that banister that they're stood by, and the street light, and also them kissing under the bumbershoot as well is the other bit that makes me think of it. Have you heard about bumbershoot? It's a colloquialism apparently from in the States for an umbrella, bumbershoot.
A bumbershoot.
That's what I've called it. I actually was was leaving the house the other day and said to my friend, "Oh, we've got a bumbershoot," and they were like, "What? What now? What
Do you know,
now?"
it's like an education when I come up here.
Yeah, the bumbershoot. So definitely snap those up. Really great deal for you there on those, and they've been very busy. You'll be seeing both of those items in our later Monday Makers show. That is 6 p.m. here in the UK, which is 2 p.m. on the East Coast. Or no, it's not. It's 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 a.m. over on the West Coast. Don't forget also about what we've got going on over on the website today. It is National Sewing Machine Day, which is awesome. It means you've got up to 65% off of selected Softcraft bundles in our flash sale. So that's all going on over on the website. We've also got 3 for 2 on all meters by the fabric there, which is wonderful. So make sure you're going and snap those up. That, of course, is all going to be culminating in a... we're also talking about Totally Tiffany, because it's Totally Tiffany's birthday on Saturday. Not her actual birthday. She's a little bit older than 2. It's her anniversary of being here at Crafters Companion. Spend 30, you'll save 5. Spend 50, you'll save 10. Spend 80, you'll save 20. And there's also lots of other great promotions happening. Make sure you come and join. I'm going to guess that it is Tiffany and Ben on Saturday evening for that. That will be a rather marvellous show. I want to just remind you as well, something else that's coming up in our later Monday Makers show is the hanging ornaments. They are absolutely gorgeous. 2 different styles. You go for the heart style. You're getting both actually. You're going to get the heart style and the circle one. You can mix and match all the embellishing elements across the 2, so it's up to you how you decorate them. Also, I think lots of people, Jan, will have little dies in their stash.
Absolutely. I mean, those lovely little outline dies that we were just talking about would fit in there. Like you said, photographs in there. So many different things, yeah. Brilliant.
So, again, you've got the heart, you've got the circle, and then you've got the different embellishments that go in there as well. So that one is your Dream of Summer, and you've got Time to Celebrate. I believe Jan's got few ideas how we can use these, Jan, is that right?
They're all being very friendly over here and
Are they?
sticking themselves together. Yes, I just wanted to try and show you a couple that we'd not seen. So that lovely little cocktail glass, you know, marrying that up with the circle concept there, and you see how it's just sort of spinning in the middle. I think they're really, really effective, and the colour scheme on that one just screams summer, doesn't it? It's like something that you'd be having at the side of the pool while on holiday there. But it's exactly that same structure. This is the one that we did in the show, so that's the heart, but you can see how it's got those 6 layers, the same with the circle. You do exactly the same idea, cut them 6 times, fold them on the score lines and stick them together. And then that's the heart with that lovely little cocktail glass in there as well. So if I just pull it open, you can see again we've got all those different layers in there. This one's actually got 8 layers in.
That's nice, isn't it?
Very nice, and it's been done in sort of like 2 different colours, so you've got a bit of black and navy going on in that one. And then also the one that we hadn't seen earlier was, I love this one. So you've got that little cupcake in the middle, and then all the little sweeties decorating the outside there, just round the edge of the frame. So lots and lots, you've got little elements all the way around there. So however you want to play with these, and then the last one was that element that had. Now then, that one's got, there we go.
Absolutely
Got
beautiful.
the butterfly in there. So the concept's the same, whether you choose to ink them, cut them out of coloured card layers, however you want to cut that concept. And then you've got a variety of different embellishments that you can fit inside there to do the hanging element inside them. Yeah, really, really pretty.
Absolutely blooming gorgeous is what they are. Make sure you are snapping those up. $29.97 or $39.84. Just quickly remind you about the fancy sentiments. Be back with you at 2 o'clock here in the UK, which of course is 9 AM on the East Coast. So let's remember, you've got thanks very much. You also have best wishes. You've also got just to say here as well. You've got happy birthday and special friend. We'll have 2 hours concentrating on those with loads of inspiration for you. That's coming up a little bit later today. So that'll be 2 PM, 9 AM, 6 AM, depending on where you are. If you don't join us for that, we'll see you a little later in the day as well. We'll be back, of course, 6 PM, which is 1 o'clock on the East Coast and 10 AM over on the West Coast. It's our Monday makers. Loads coming up on that for you. You've got those lovely water reactive ink pads, you've got silhouettes, you've got the Nature's Garden Bee-Youtiful, loads and loads and loads for you to shop for. That's coming up later. And then remember, tomorrow here all day, I'm renaming it Sunflower Day. Myself and Corinne will be here for the launch of a brand new Nature's Garden collection for you with those sunflowers. You'll be seeing lots of that, no doubt, in the wake-up call, and then we'll have that launch for you as well tomorrow a little later. Should we go and get some lunch then, Jan?
I think it's time, don't you?
Do you? I think
it seems a long time since breakfast.
It does, doesn't it? It really, really does. I had a little bit of a... I didn't really have time for breakfast this morning because I fell asleep on the sofa. I was a little bit late.
I had my breakfast very early before I left home this morning. It was a struggle. I don't like eating that early in the morning.
The time is now, Jan. Big thanks to Jan, of course. We'll see you back here in 1 hour's time, where we'll have that amazing launch day for you. So yeah, I'll see you back here at 2 PM/9 AM/6 AM. Bye.